All right. Welcome to Walking Against the Current. We apologize for being a little late, but we are here, ready to go, ready to dive into life's toughest topics, but with energeticness and with empatheticness as well.
Yes.
So tonight we are talking about a topic that I think anybody and everybody can relate to in the entire world. It is titled tonight, When Life is Lifing.
That's right.
And I think everybody can identify with that. So I'll say my spiel. So I'll save it right now. We are going to dive into life's toughest currents and figure out how to swim strong when it feels easier to sink. Today's topic is one we all know too well. When life be lifing, son.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean when I say that? When life be lifing?
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about your day.
I was going to say, I wanted to discuss, here's what I wanted to discuss. When inflation hits harder than a Monday morning, when relationships test your patience, your relationships. I think we all can identify with that.
Oh, yes.
When the price of gas make you want to think your entire life. You know, this week I'm driving my son's truck. And man, I went to the gas tank to fill that baby up. $65. I was like, man.
Yeah, that truck is no joke.
That truck ain't nothing to play with. I was like, $65. So, when the weight of everything, race, religion, careers, mental health, just seems too much. Right. So we just want to dive into it, talk about it, laugh about it, and if we have to cry about it, we'll do that too.
That's right. That's right.
When life be lifing.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, tonight's topic is about when life be life, and we wanted to kind of bring this topic into fruition because, there's so many things going on in the world. There's so many things going on in my life. Right?
Mine too.
One of the reasons why we was late tonight is because I think I might have one of my pipes in my house that busted.
Life is lifing.
I think one of the pipes in my house busted, so I got water right now coming internally inside my walls, so I'm gonna have to get off this live tonight when we done and make some phone calls, right?
Yes, you do.
But the thing about life, when life be life, and it's all about how you show up, right? There's so many things that's going on right now in our lives. Like she mentioned, she's having car trouble. Thank God that we are a close-knit family to where we can depend on one another.
Oh man,
you know
thank God that we live close enough to each other that we can. Life was life with my mom tonight.
Yeah, so we don't get into all of that. I'm just paraphrasing what's been going on. So like your car broke down this week. You have to get some stuff repaired. Thank God she's able to use one of my extra cars. Yes. But using that particular car, it's a gas guzzler. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So filling that car up was $65, $70.
Oh yeah, easy.
And then today, Sharonda called me today. I'm literally leaving court at work. Leaving court, we had a meeting to go meet with a brother that's a part of the Men's Matter group that we have. And this brother and his wife, they do 501c3s. And they was meeting with us today so we could have a formal meeting with Sharonda, his wife meeting. She does a lot of women empowerment stuff.
Oh, good.
It was going to be a great meeting today. So I'm calling her at the court like, hey, where you at? She's like, I'm on the side of the road by Fort Jackson. I'm like, you by Fort Jackson for what? She was like, so my car's not moving. So I'm like, oh my God, we meet, at this time it's like 11:15. We gotta meet with them at 12:30. So and she just went grocery shopping. So she got a car full of groceries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had to literally leave court, drive to Fort Jackson Boulevard, pick her up. We followed her to a gas station, left her car there, moved the groceries from her car to my car, then drove her home. Had to call the dude, say, hey, I can't meet you at 12:30. I can meet you at 1 o'clock.
Right.
Drop her off, switch cars, go back up to, man.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing, man. So,
it does.
And we wanted to make sure we still be consistent and come on here tonight despite of what's going on. Because it's honestly important to be consistent.
It's absolutely important. And I've been without a garage door. We have a 2-car garage and mine's just, we put it up one night and it never went back down. I was like, what in the crap? And if you know anything about garage doors, you can access your house through your garage door. So I'm thinking like, what in the world am I going to do? Granted, there is another door that, does protect your home, but I mean, you don't feel as safe without your garage door.
Right.
So finally, last week, they called me up. They tell me, oh, we're here. We got the garage door in after a month of living without a garage door.
Literally a garage door.
Yes. Missing. And got tarp up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On it. Just doesn't have any curb appeal, if you know what I mean. So I am all excited last week, and I'm thinking I get my garage door, and they finally get here, and it doesn't fit.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, like, this can't.
But tell them what happened that morning.
Oh, so much happened that morning. Tell me.
You talking about you had to move the car.
Oh.
Then you thought that my sister, your daughter, Mimi, her husband had the car key.
Oh, yes.
So it was a whole bunch of,
That's the same day I blew my eye out, you know?
Yeah. Then she blew a blood vessel in her eye. Her whole eye was bloodshot red.
Right, yeah. And we still came on that night. Red eye and all. Pushing through. So, I mean, honestly, today I got a phone call. I mean, I raised so much cane at Home Depot for them making that mistake that today I got a phone call. They're coming tomorrow to put my garage door up. Fingers crossed. Blessings from the Lord. So I'll have hopefully tomorrow my garage door. Listen. But I mean, like he said, like Lauren said, garage door down, my son's car down, my car down. And then today, I'm getting ready to get off work, and Lawrence calls me up, and he's like, oh man, you know, Grandma just called me, and she's sick, and she don't feel well. And I'm like, my heart just hit the floor. I'm like, what? What's going on? But I really tried to stay calm.
Yeah.
I was like, so what's going on? And he's like, oh, her TV, she got a
100-inch TV that she just got installed.
Right.
Or, placed on the wall.
Right, professionally done.
Yeah.
And she comes downstairs today, and the thing is tilting, and it scared her so bad that she literally made herself sick. We talk about what fear and anxiety does. The thought of her losing all of her money, she said, because I went over there before I came home.
Yeah.
And she said the thought of her losing her money because she knew that a cracked up TV wouldn't be covered. So that put her into a panic. She literally started vomiting.
Yeah.
She got so sick and weak. And my youngest son is like, Grandma, calm down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Pass out over TV?
Over TV.
Now so, and then finally she called Lawrence, and between my two sons, they was able to help her out, and she was able to calm down.
And this is all today.
All today.
This is all today, right? This
right
is all
before
today.
right at that 5:30 hour or time.
So life been life ever since this morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is all today.
Yes.
But the thing about it is, when Grandma called me today, I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, where you at? So we all got this thing on our phone called Life 360.
Right.
So we all could track everybody's location.
Yes.
So my grandma's notorious for watching everybody's location.
Watching everybody, but she's not watching.
Yeah, she's not watching. So ironically, as soon as I pull up in the garage, open my garage door, walk in the house, she calls me.
Right.
Hey, where you at?
She knows where he's at.
Because the thing alerts you when you stop, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know she know I'm home. She's like, but I hear her voice. She's like, I need you. I'm like, what? She was like, I'm gonna pass out. I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened? She's like, I just threw up. I'm like, what happened? Mind you, I'm about to get my shoes back on and go back to her house down the street. She's like, well, my TV about to fall. I'm like, Grandma, your TV about to fall? And she's like, yes. It's leaning, it's tilting, and me and Sammy's holding it up. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I call you.
Right.
But anyway.
I'm telling you right now, one blessing that we do have is that we all live in the same community. Mm-hmm. That's the blessing. I mean, it could be a blessing or a curse.
Yeah.
Mom's is right next door to me. My son is around the corner. My daughter's right up the block. Yeah. I mean, we all are really close in this community. We have like our own compound, so to speak.
Yeah, we do.
But honestly, it really works for us because when somebody needs somebody, I can literally walk to your house. Mm-hmm. And of course, I can just step over to my mom's house.
Right.
So it's a blessing. Door. And then my daughter, when she needs something really quick, she has 2 young kids. When she needs something, I can just run up there really quick to help her and assist. So it's really a blessing. I don't look at it as a curse. I mean, sometimes we have our own little issues within ourselves in our little circle, but we always work them out.
Absolutely.
And I always try to respect my son because I'm like, I don't want him to be like, don't come here no more.
I'll never say that.
So I really try my best to, really be, mindful that, he's a young married man with his family and he needs his privacy because mama will be looking, So I'll be trying to be respectful of that. But I'm thankful for all of my family.
So let me ask you a question out there that's watching, right? When pressure hits you, and you can answer this question too.
Okay.
When pressure hits you, do you tend to fight, freeze, or flee?
When pressure hit me, I tend to sometimes fight. I'll get up in a nervous kind of a wreck and I'll just start trying to figure it out really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other day when I got so full, my eye did that, I remember telling myself, sit down,
Mm-hmm.
take a deep breath, and breathe in. And I think I told you, I put on one of those little songs that he talked about, one of those little calming songs.
Yeah.
But by that time, I had allowed myself to work myself up too much. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was crazy. So yeah, I tend to sometimes immediately I'll start to, what was the choices again?
Do you fight, flee, or what did I write down? Do you fight, flee, or freeze?
Oh, I definitely fight first. And then sometimes I have to freeze myself. But what about you? What do you do?
Man, somebody put on here, Lynetta put she fight. Okay, we got a fighter.
We got a fighter. Go, girl.
I think with me, everything results back to your training.
Ooh, then that's a good point.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
a good point.
So, in law enforcement, military, somebody put stand still. I like that too.
Yeah.
When you think about law enforcement, military training, or just your training in life,
Right.
you're going to always resort back to what you was taught.
Okay.
So we're taught to, be able to adapt and fight in strong situations,
Okay.
in tense situations, dealing with a shooting, dealing with domestic, whatever the case may be.
Right.
We're taught to always resort back to your training. But the thing about training is if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's a perishable skill
Right.
that you have to make sure you're always practicing and doing.
That's
on
a
daily
good point
basis.
because I watched my mom when she would get nervous, she would always fight and run and get scared like she did today.
Yeah.
So me growing up with mom, I kind of started doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And kind of sort of see sometimes my kids do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Now, I ain't gonna lie. Today was the day I was on something. I'm learning to stand still. I love that.
I love that too. Stand still.
Now today I was on something. Man, Lord, I don't know what to do. I got so many things coming at me at one time.
Right.
And I'm really in a interesting season, right? Because as much adversity as I've been having lately,
Right.
over the last 2 years, I feel like I have so much clarity in where I'm going.
Okay.
With the men's group and different things that's happening. And I'm seeing like I'm getting more speaking engagements.
Okay, so
to
God
come
is
out.
opening doors.
He's opening doors for me.
Because you're faithful.
I am faithful. But the thing about it is like, I feel like I was talking to somebody today at Keller Williams, one of the team leaders. And I expressed to her, I was like, because we use the Keller Williams office, shout out to KW, we use the Keller Williams office to host our men's meetings. But I was telling her today, and she's like one of the owners of the company.
Okay.
And I was like, and I talked about this on my video about how sometimes my famous quote is, outside of your own head, you're just fine.
Okay.
Think about that. Outside of your own head, your thoughts of how you view things about yourself or other people, you're just fine.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And
sometimes you're your biggest critic.
Right. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not producing like other agents in the office. And I'm like, am I costing the company money?
Okay.
By hosting these men groups here, using electricity and this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she was like, Lawrence, you don't understand. You may not have 10, 20 closes per month.
Right.
But the value that you're adding to our office
Wow.
by having so many men come together and heal and just forge and bridge that gap.
Right.
She said that alone is bringing so much value into the office. So much so that they thinking about having me travel out to different market centers to adopt this Men Matter ideology in other offices.
Oh man.
Because other people are watching what's going on. And I was like, oh my God.
So you realized how valuable you were even when you was thinking.
I was thinking I'm not valuable. I'm thinking like why am I doing this? But it's like, what value am I bringing to the office monetarily? Right. Because real estate is, and we're in a tough season. Well, I don't want to speak tough, right?
Right.
It's power in our words. But we're in a season of where real estate is up and down.
Right.
Everybody's not buying. Some are, some's not. And you have to really build your brand, and people have to trust you, which I have that. But the thing about it is, I just felt like I wasn't producing like some of the other agents in the office.
Right.
And I felt like I was being a hindrance
Mm-hmm.
to the organization by them allowing me to use the space.
Okay.
And I had that vulnerable conversation with the owner today, and she was like, I can't believe you even, like, her viewpoint on me and what I'm doing is like, I can't believe you even think that way about yourself.
Isn't that something?
She said, because me and who owns multiple offices, we talk about you all the time.
That's why it's so important to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important to be transparent and vulnerable to the point where you said, hey, what do you think about what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then she came back and blessed you.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's important to be humble enough to say, man, should I even be here still?
Right, should I even be
That,
here?
that's a very humbling question to ask.
Yeah.
Because it could have went, well, we was thinking about letting you go. We was thinking about letting you go, you know what I mean? I'm glad you brought it up, Morris.
Yeah.
Make it a little easier.
Yeah, since you brought it up, you here 2 weeks,
Right.
burn electricity, you know what I'm saying, using paper towels,
Yeah.
So, but to hear her say today, man, I love the way, I love what you're doing, so much so that, we want to help you and figure out how we can help really make this thing expand, really warm my heart.
It's going someplace. I'm telling you, I feel it in my bones. As a mother, I can feel the message is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that it's just going to take off. I mean, this is just temporary, temporary little pitfalls, but it's absolutely going to take off.
I'm in my winning season.
Somebody said survival. I love it.
Yeah, the feds are lowering the interest rates, so get ready. Listen, I'm ready, right?
Yes.
I'm ready. Listen, matter of fact, if you're looking to buy a house, hit up your boy, Bob Brewer, Mr. Hit Your Target. You know what I'm saying?
He's about to sell himself tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
That house man, that was nice what I saw yesterday.
That house was nice.
And you'd be like, I might want to get something new. I don't know.
That house was really nice.
Laugh a lot, take off. I might be a client of yours.
Absolutely.
So how are we dealing with, the question that I have for the audience is, tell me some of the strategies and things that you're doing with the rise of the cost of groceries, gas, even eggs now. I mean, before you could buy a dozen of eggs with no thought. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, with the rise of the prices of eggs, how are some of you guys making it? Could you offer some advice to those who are still struggling? Mm-hmm. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, how are you making things work today? That's one of the questions I wanted to ask. And another reflection I wanted to say, sometimes this financial pressure affects families, marriages, and even relationships.
Oh, yeah.
It's really affecting that. How are some of the ways that you are dealing with that? Because, I mean, as a woman, you might want to go out. Your husband might not be making the money that he used to make. And you're thinking like he doesn't value me. Or are you one of those women that say, hey, I'm a ride or die with you. We can make a dinner in the house and be happy.
Ride or live.
Okay, right. My words.
Look, I ain't dying.
Yes.
We riding and living. You know what I mean?
So the thing is, you're right. As they say, yes, I digress. So what I'm saying is, can we as women learn as men to really sometimes do without for the bigger picture? And sometimes I've heard, even at work, when people come into the office, they're like really stressed out because they're complaining that their husbands are not taking them out to dinner and things and such, but but do they understand that things are tough right now?
Yeah.
So how are people dealing with those things? That's the question I have.
Man, I mean, that's a loaded question, right? There's so many different variables, so many different ways that you can answer that question. Somebody put in here buy in bulk, and let it put buy in bulk.
Right.
When it comes to like buying stuff, you talk about that. Go to Sam's Club, go to your Costco's, and when stuff is on sale,
man,
buy. I'm telling you, listen.
I don't fall.
When I do not have no detergent in my house to wash clothes, I know over here. I'm gonna shout the address, but I know over here she got loads and loads and loads of detergent.
Right. Yes.
I was like, Mom, I need some pods because it might come to a point where, because I don't buy in bulk, right? We don't buy in bulk. That's something we have to do, and it comes to a point sometimes where we wash so much clothes with the kids. And I might get down to the last pod or the last gain. I'm like, oh, shoot. And I don't feel like going to the store.
Right.
And I know you got a plethora of washing powder.
I buy my Tide Pods when they're on sale. I buy maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So that there's certain things like, I think that's a great point that Lynetta made tonight, to buy in bulk. Because there are things that I never I mean, when I say never run out of, that's going to be paper towels. That's going to be tissue. It's going to be detergent. Because here they come to the house looking like pulling back my curtain, and I'm like, look at them.
Yeah, we all do it.
Yes,
we all do
all
it.
the kids do it. They come over and be like, "Oh, Mom, you got a paper towel? Mom, you got my daughter. You got a couple of pods? You know what I mean? A couple of. She really wants the whole thing. You know?
Yeah, we still
Cleaning
do that.
supplies. You know, it was on sale today. I picked up more bleach spray. I'm always buying bleach spray. I never run out. So I think that's a great thing to do. And my mother taught me that.
Yeah.
My mother was so notorious for shopping in bulk. It was it was 4 girls in the house. She would, you know how the stores have a limit of what you can buy? Mm-hmm. Not with my mother. She would take us all to the store and say, you buy 2, you buy 2, you buy 2, you buy 2. We would all be on the line buying 2.
Yep. And
she would come back home and she always had more than enough detergent and stuff for the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really does save when you find it on sale.
Yeah. And even with the question about relationships, I think it's very important that people have to be in sync, right? You have to be in sync to understand the goal of where you're trying to go.
Right.
You have to be able to have the tough conversations, and men and women have to really operate in emotional intelligence to understand and to have empathy on what's going on.
Right.
Because you might have that woman to say, yeah, you may not have the money, but I still get my nails done.
Right.
Yeah, you may not have the money, but I still want to go out and do certain things, which is fine, but you have to have the understanding to be able to budget for those things.
Absolutely.
If you want to do that,
if
right?
If you want to do it.
And for the men as well, you know, still be able to take your wife out, do certain things.
Right.
You have to have the understanding and have the conversations to be able to do those things.
Right.
And I think, and if you're not on the same wavelength, if you're not operating on the same frequency, that's when the problems happen.
Yeah,
because like I shared before, we could be standing next to each other, and if I'm on 100.1 and you're on 100.2 of the radio station, we're right here next to each other, but we're on 2 different stations.
That's right.
We're not understanding each other.
Right.
And that's when the problems come in. That's when, like you said, you don't value me, you don't take me out.
Right.
You know, you don't love me, I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
That's where all these problems come in relationships, even in families too.
Right, absolutely. I remember one time when I was dating, and the young man asked me, "Are you going to pay tonight?" I was like, "Are you out of your mind?" That'd be a no. You know what I mean? So I think there's certain expectations we as women we have for the man. Automatically, he's got to pay.
Now, is that only for somebody you're dating, or is that for somebody you've been with?
I think when I was married, I was a little more understanding because I guess I understood our wallet.
Right.
So I understood where we was at. So, you know, I might not go to a Steak 48. I might have to go to Golden Corral and get my steak that day.
Yeah, freaking Salisbury steak, you know?
Yes, exactly. So I have another question for the audience. What's the one bill that shocks you every month, no matter how much you prepare for it?
What's the one? Oh, for me, my car insurance.
Okay.
You know, my car insurance, y'all wouldn't believe how much money I pay in car insurance. Right? At one point, I was paying $1,000 a month for car insurance.
Oh, man. Was it going up? Was it not regulated, or was it?
Well, yeah, I was paying $1,000 a month.
Well, I think I'll leave that part out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
but now it's down to $700 a month.
Okay.
And some people say that's not bad, but I do have some high-end cars, and you know, so if they know somebody else that's got cheap insurance, let me know. I am with Geico right now. Somebody put groceries. Yes.
Yes.
Groceries, absolutely.
That is true. That is one bill. Like, I went to the store today and I literally picked up like, I don't know, maybe 6 things, and it was like $60-something. I was like, oh my God. It was like, so yeah. And also for me, it's gonna be my electric bill. Every month my electric bill comes in $300 plus, and it's just me and little Sammy in here. I don't know what that boy doing when I'm at work.
Yeah, like I said, I think for me it's the car insurance bill, my car note, and what else? I can't even say my mortgage, because we are really blessed to have the mortgage payments we have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we are.
We don't even pay $1,500 a month for a mortgage.
Right.
And that's the new norm. Like for a mortgage price of $1,500 a month, you get in a house that's about, you know, down here at least, maybe 1,500 square feet, less than 2,000 square feet.
Right.
You know, not knocking that, right? I'm just saying that is the new norm in today's society for
crying out
houses.
loud, in my apartments where I work, I mean, they're almost tapping off at $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, people I know are paying $2,500 a month for a 3-bedroom townhouse.
Wow. How much?
$2,500 a month in Columbia, South Carolina. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
And you think about that, right? So think about if your mortgage is that high or your rent is that high. Imagine if you miss one payment, 1 month. Now you up to $5,000
that quick.
3 months, $7,500. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's why it's so important, you all, that we find a way, create a way to make additional income outside your job.
Yes, because if you lose that one job, I mean, I look at this community and where we live at. I mean, we all moved here. These were brand new houses, couples, everybody's excited about their houses. And I unfortunately have to say it, so many people lost their houses because one person, they broke up with them. You know, their marriages broke up, their relationships broke up, and now they couldn't afford the mortgage. So I think, again, I'm telling you, life lessons.
Yeah.
When I got ready to move down here, you know, when you get ready to buy a house, and these are some things that I'm sure you deal with your clients, everybody wants to add on.
Yeah.
And I want to upgrade this. I want to upgrade that. I want to upgrade. Well, you upgrading is going to be paying for that for the next 30 years.
Oh, my God.
So my mom really educated me, and she said, you know, you can do your own upgrades and pay for it one time opposed to adding it into your mortgage.
For 30 years.
For 30 years.
Because they have you, like, add in your carpet.
Right.
Add in, you know, Melonium or whatever.
Right.
And this might cost you $2,000.
Right.
But they spread it out for 30 years.
Oh, my God.
And now something that costs you $2,000 may end up costing you $15,000.
And you know you don't have that carpet for 30 years. You don't have the linoleum for 30 years. And you're still paying for it.
Yes.
So knowledge is really power. So I thank God for my mom. And another thing she taught me was, even though you're happily married now, listen to me, people out here buying homes, especially women with children, even though you're in this bliss marriage and you're buying this new happy home, there's no guarantee that marriage is going to last.
Right.
And so you're buying this home sometimes on a 2-income mindset. And then when one person leaves, how do you continue with the mortgage?
Right.
And that's how a lot of families wind up losing their houses.
And that's why it's so important to have that wisdom, man.
Yes,
I'm telling you,
that wisdom.
2,000 1-bedroom in New York City, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
True. That's true. That's why it's important to have 6 months of emergency funds.
Who said that?
Lynetta said that.
Oh,
that's
yes.
True. But see, here's the thing. And Grandma said this, you know, always want to buy a house off one income.
Of one income.
Right. So you may have 2 incomes to buy the house, but you want to make sure the mortgage is predicated off of one income.
Right.
Right. And that the mortgage is set to where you can afford to pay your mortgage on the McDonald's job.
Oh, I remember my mom said that. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Man, I thanked her. Boy, did I think. I still thank her. I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
boy, what an insight she gave.
Oh, my God. Yeah, because, I mean, I look at my situation now, right? Sharonda, her situation, you know, got laid off from the job. You know, my job, you know, I'm part-time.
Right.
So imagine if we had a mortgage that was $2,000, $3,000. You know, shoot, I'd be homeless.
Right. Or moving in here.
You know, I thank God for other resources that's coming in.
Right.
But I'm telling y'all, like, man, I'm so grateful that I listened.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Obedience.
I listened
Obedience.
and purchased the house I purchased at the time I purchased it.
Right.
Because, you know, we got the good interest rate.
And guess what? Guess who found the house for him?
My grandma.
My mom.
Because we was getting...
She was relentless for looking for that house for you. She was going to make sure you had an affordable house for your family.
Because the house we had paid our earnest money on. Remember, the house is getting built.
Right.
We was going to the house, looking at the house every single day, taking pictures, documenting the process. And I think the mortgage was only going to be about $400 more than what I'm paying now.
Okay.
And they were so adamant about, no, do not spend extra. I'm like, it's $400
right
to get the house I want.
Right.
And they was like, no, don't get the house. Get this house. It's in the same neighborhood as us.
They had young children at the time.
Right. The kids was much younger. They was like, you know, I think Keela was not even 1 year old.
No, she wasn't.
You know, I was like, I got 2 newborns practically. You know, you got a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Get a house in the same community we're in.
You can get help.
So we have better access to getting to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I was like, man, I don't want to do that. I want you guys to come travel to visit me. I don't want to be too close. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? what the heck?
Right.
That makes sense.
It does.
You know, sometimes you have to take away your emotions and do what makes sense.
And what makes sense. And boy, I tell you, being obedient does pay off. It does pay
and
off.
And that $400 would have made a difference.
Oh, yes, it would. Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it would.
You know,
when you're living on one income, absolutely makes a difference.
And the fact that I bought the house, when I bought the house, now we have so much equity in these houses.
Yes, we do.
I'm talking about almost $200,000 of equity in these houses.
Right.
And if people don't understand what that means, which means if we sold our houses today, we could get almost $200,000 more than what we paid for it.
Right.
Or one of my plans I'm thinking in my mind is what the rich do. You know, I could rent my house out.
Right.
And make if I rent my house out right now for market value, I will literally profit $2,000 a month.
Wow.
Ain't that something?
That's something.
I will profit $2,000 a month, right? And I could literally take money out my house. You could get up to 80% loan to value. I could take out, let's say, $100,000 out my house. Take the $100,000, and I could either A, put that $100,000 down on the house that I want to purchase next,
right? Or
B, take the $100,000 and buy a quadplex, or a duplex,
right?
And let my current house pay for the second house,
Isn't that something?
And then have two separate incomes of two investment properties.
Oh, but he's teaching y'all tonight. Y'all better listen.
Have two separate investment properties, right? Now paying for the house I really want to purchase.
Right.
And that's how you begin to build doors. And when I get the second property, have that property, let it build some equity. We can take money out of that house too.
Right.
And buy a third or fourth. But man, we are in a position right now to really build generational wealth if we really, not say if we really wanted to, but if we wanted to right now at this moment.
Right, right.
You know, think about the equity between our two houses alone. That's almost $500,000.
Right, definitely.
You could take that money, buy, start a trucking company, whatever you want to do. But the point I'm making you all is you can build wealth through your real estate of your home.
Right.
So although life be lifing, right, there's still options and ways and strategies that right now, if you say, you know what, I need $10,000, I need $100,000, I need $200,000, we have the accessibility to go do that. But we have it because that's like the ace in the hole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Last resort.
Like the last resort. Because I want to use that money for
investing.
Not for paying a freaking bill.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. And that is so important. And this is why we want to be here tonight, to teach you. You sometimes have value and you don't even realize you have value and things that you can do. Yeah. And also understanding that people are under a lot of pressure. A lot of people are losing their jobs and their positions right now. I mean, a lot of people are being bamboozled with these companies today. I don't understand what's going on. I kind of have a theory what's going on, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is, what do you do when you get out of a job? And you're used to making a certain amount of money, and all of a sudden now you got to do something like maybe work in Walmart. Yeah. What does that do to you as a person? Most times you don't want to go from making, sometimes, income is all relevant, right? Somebody might say $65,000 is a lot of money. Somebody else might laugh at that. You know what I mean? But $65,000 for somebody might have been a lot of money.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then somebody say, well, I'm coming off a job making $150 a year, So depending on what's relevant to your lifestyle and what you do. So I don't say what's really a lot, what's not a lot. I just say whatever is important to you as a person. What do you do when you're making $150 and now somebody's asking you now to make $30,000 from $150, and then you're being bamboozled by your jobs and your companies, and what do? Look at the people that got laid off at one time. Yeah. Federal aid. Because back in the days, a federal job was such a secure job. Oh yeah. And then all of a sudden, you're out of a job. You know what's happening to people's mental.
But God, absolutely. And I think about that even with me. Like, can you imagine? Like, the money I make yearly, I was making in a month. Right. Right. And to have to revert.
I'm still trying to figure out why I didn't go to a massage. When you're making that kind of money, I understand that.
Look, I was covering everybody's phone bill, you know what I'm saying? But the point I'm making is, I think about that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, man, like you said, what was I doing? Right. It makes you, so I taught about this in church on Sunday. It's a rule that I have called the 10-10-10 rule. Okay. And meaning, when you do something, when you pay for something, how would you feel in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years?
Oh, Wow, I like that.
Right?
I like
Before you
that.
make a purchase or do something financially, how will you feel in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years? Because it's something called buyer's remorse.
Ooh,
right?
I've heard that.
After 10 minutes, you buy something like, God, why did I buy that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But how would you feel 10 minutes later, 10 months later, or even 10 years later?
Right.
So now I look back at my situation from 2 years ago. It's not 10 years, but it's still, I'm thinking back, right?
Right, of course.
It falls in that second bracket of 10 months to 10 years. And I'm like, man, all that money, what was I doing? I'm looking at the cars I have, the jewelry I have, and I was like, why? Like, none of that stuff mean nothing no more to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was all about being seen. It was about insecurity.
Ooh.
Right?
All right, I got to snap on that one.
Right, because it goes back to, it was something that I never had before. So it was like I went to experience that. Not saying something's wrong with that, but it's all about being in balance.
Right. You know, right? That's my...
And see, and my whole purpose at that time, when I was making that money, was to buy real estate.
Right.
But the money was coming in so fast, it was like, I could spend $10,000 and I have that next week.
Right.
It was almost like, as Lincoln would say, as my father would say, no condition is permanent.
No condition is permanent.
You could be up today and down tomorrow. You could be down today and up tomorrow. But
it was a learning experience.
Absolutely.
So you learn from it.
Absolutely.
You move on. I just wanted to offer some things that people can do under the stresses right now. Because, I mean, I got to give you credit. Coming from that type of money and having to say, whoa, I don't have that kind of money coming in monthly. You're still standing, though.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't let it, you know, you didn't go to like postal workers and go blow everybody up, you know. You absolutely understood.
Almost did. Let me stop.
You learned from it. You understood. Now you know. But I've always heard Pastor George say, most successful people always failed first.
Yes.
They always failed first. And then they got back up the second time. It was like, okay, now I know the errors.
Right.
I know the errors of my ways. I'm not going to do that again.
Right.
So you're falling in line with the rich folks.
Absolutely.
So that's how you look at it. Hey, I'm falling in line with those before me that are rich now.
I'm on the right path.
You absolutely on the right path.
You have to turn your test into a testimony.
Testimony.
Your mess into a message. Right? And I wrote down in here, you have to turn your scar into a story of survival.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes. I like that. So for those of you that don't know how to stand up and get back up, take some breathing exercises, laughter therapy. Say that again.
Laughter therapy?
That's right. Laughter therapy. I know I'm going to always talk about laughing. So jump into laughing. Another thing that people need to do that I find is so effective, that's journaling.
Oh, yeah.
And finding community. I just love the fact that we are getting back into community. You know what I mean? Like what you're doing with the men's group. That is community.
Right.
People are getting together. People are saying, I got somebody I can unleash on. You know, I feel heavy today. I don't have to just carry this weight. I can just give it to this brother, and then he can give it to this brother, and then we can dissect it together.
Right.
That's community. You know what I'm saying? So, and then people are talking more. You know, that's one of my strengths. I'm really good at talking people through things. I was on the phone with a certain sister last night for 2 hours talking things through.
Yeah, acting like Ayana Benzai.
I'm definitely, I know, that's what God has given me. So we got to just find communities, and we got to figure out ways to get through life.
Yeah. Because
life is going to life. And I mean, and thankfully, whenever I get really, really pressured, my mind will tell me, you're breathing still. That is an exercise you should take immediately. When you feel completely stressed out and feel like the world is against you, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And realize you're still here.
That's
you're
right.
still here means you get another chance to do it over. You know what I mean? So don't look at life like it's over. If you can breathe, understand that there's a new opportunity for you.
Yes.
So I think the biggest takeaway is being thankful.
Oh, yeah. Thankful.
No matter what the circumstances look like, there's something to be thankful for.
That's right.
And that's what I constantly remind myself. What are you thankful for? Well, I have 4 children. My 4 children are healthy. I have 5 grandkids. My 5 grandkids are healthy. I still have my mother. I have great relationships with people. I have, my sisters biologically, my sisters that are not biological. Right. I mean, these are all the things that I have to constantly remind myself of being thankful. And that's what we have to do. Sure, there's some hiccups in our lives. Yeah. I got some in my life too. But you have to remind yourself of the things that you do have. Yeah. And that's the thing that I try to teach. I always try to teach you guys and to remember that,
And I would say, storms don't last forever.
No.
You know, think about it. Have you guys ever seen a storm that did not have an expiration date?
No. Even the worst.
Even the worst storms, even the worst hurricanes, right? They don't last forever. So think about the storms in your life, the hurricanes in your life, right? Like there's going to be an end date to that.
That's right.
You know, so that's what we have to look and be hopeful for, is for the storm to eventually go away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because sometimes you give up. Sometimes people feel like just giving up. You know what I mean? I've been there.
Yeah,
I've
same.
absolutely been there. I remember being there like, man, this is not worth it. And then when I look back 6 months later, it was like, man, I was about to do that. And 6 months later, I'm back on top and I'm feeling happy again. Yeah. Don't give up. Yeah. Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm speaking to everyone tonight. Don't give up. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Think about God's promises.
Yes.
You know, I know that's one of the things you always tell me too. Like
that's
when I'm really,
yeah, because there's
when I was really like feeling really anxious and couldn't sleep. What was that song you told me to play on YouTube? I'm
no longer a slave.
No, not that song.
Not that one.
It was a lady singing. I can't think of the song.
I know who you're talking about. Oh, hold up. Jesus, and he, you know, it kind of talks about all the names of Jesus, like all the names of God.
Yeah.
Yes. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. What? It's gonna mess with me. I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah, that song.
Got you through.
Relax me.
Yes.
You know, and again, going back to hurts.
Right.
Going back to songs and music.
Right.
To relax you. You know, playing certain jazz music.
Oh,
you
man.
know, I'm telling y'all, there's something to those hurts the frequency that really does something to the brain and really relaxes you. Right. Because when you're going through these battles, man, you know, listen.
Jehovah Jireh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that. I'm just saying.
Are you looking it up now?
Yes, I'm looking it up. That's gonna bug me out if I don't, get it.
Yeah, man. That right there. So I'm gonna share a scripture. James 1:2-4. Count it all joy when you face trials. It produces perseverance.
Oh, okay.
Right. And I used to have note cards or flashcards of certain scriptures that I carried with me. So like if I really felt myself going through something, I'll pull out a flashcard or a note card and I'll read it. And get that scripture inside of me.
That's when I know God is so real, because when them scriptures get in you, all of a sudden a peace comes. Mm-hmm. A certain song, like you said, a peace comes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I met somebody today, and he really touched me when it comes to talking about God. I'm not going to say what religion he was prior to, but he told me that he was a specific religion for 14 years. And he did all the prayers, he did all the things that he was asked to do. Right. And he really enjoyed the religion, he said, when he was there. He said, but Lawrence, I'll tell you this. He said, I've never experienced the peace until I decided to follow Jesus. Wow. And we was talking about how life be life and different things we talk about and go through. And he was like, man, I've never in 14 years. Wow. Following this religion, deep in the religion, praying multiple times a day. Right. He said, I've never experienced the peace like Jesus. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And that really taught me that no matter what you're going through, it's so important. You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching, because somebody's always watching. Somebody's always watching you. And people are always watching how you, remember, life don't happen to you, it happens for you. Right. And it's all about how you respond to life. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you never know who's watching you. You never know who's depending on your story, depending on your breakthrough, depending on your strength. Yes. On what you're going through. Yes. A lot of people are depending on it. When sometimes when my kids are full, and they call me, I always make sure I have the time to talk. Mm-hmm. I make sure, even if I say I call you back, most of the time I'll call you back. Now, there's sometimes I don't call you back. But if I hear a certain voice, now as a mother, there's a certain tone in your child's voice that okay, they need me right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Even with my youngest son is very good at hiding his feelings, but there's a certain look that he'll have in his eyes when I know, oh man, like it happened to me last night. He was full and I was full with him. And at some point when I was getting ready to just do what I do, lunge and talk and just get frustrated and do the things that I shouldn't do, just being transparent,
I saw a look in his eyes, and immediately I was like, shh, stop.
Right.
Take a deep breath. Now this is your moment to teach and speak in a calm voice. And even though I was very upset with him because he did something he shouldn't have done, I was able to. What else is new? I know. What else is new? God, dog. You know, that one right there, these new age kids today. I mean, if anybody that has children between the ages of 13 to 19, you feel my pain. Okay? So I was able to talk through it. And I realized that when I got ready to go upstairs in my room, I can immediately feel it was peace. But had I stayed in that same place, in that same vein where I was at before, it may not have been that way. So you have to be conscious when you hear people. That's why it's so important, like you said, with God. It's just important to have those relationships with your children, your friends. Sometimes people are calling you. They're so desperate, and we're so busy with our lives. I'll call you back. That one phone call, that one moment of time, you could have took it and... Sometimes people do horrible things to themselves because you just rushed them away.
Remember my boy.
Or pushed them away.
Remember my friend a couple of years ago.
That's right. And you felt bad about that for a while, you know?
Yeah. I had to let that guilt go.
Right.
And one of my friends, committed suicide. Oh my God, it's been a while ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Almost 10 years.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, this was like 2015, 16. And long story short, he called me that day. And what he was asking to do didn't make any sense. And I thought I was looking out for him.
Right.
You know,
not he was having some struggles.
Having some struggles.
Financial struggles. Life was life.
Not knowing that he was calling me just to come vent. You know, and when he asked me, it didn't even make sense for him to do that.
Right.
And I thought I was looking out for him, like, bro, nah, man, I'm good. Oh, I was moving.
Right.
And he wanted to drop an hour to help me move. He was like, but just give him $20.
Right.
And I was like, bro, it don't make no sense for you to drop an hour to help me move. You know what I'm saying? And you got to drop an hour back for $20.
No.
But and I'm learning with men. That's why we have the Men Matter group. Some men do not know how to verbally express.
Right.
Man, I'm having these thoughts. Man, I need to be around some positive energy.
Ooh, say that again.
You know what I'm saying?
Say that again.
And his way of telling me he needed to be around somebody was saying, just give me $20. I'll come help you move. Right.
He wanted to be with you. He wanted to express himself to you. He didn't know how to be vulnerable and humble enough just to say, man, I just need somebody to talk to.
And me trying to thought I was being a good friend, you know, thank you, Lawrence. You have such a calling. Thank you so much. Me thought I was being a good friend. I was like, nah, man. Hey, I didn't have the money myself back then, you know. I'm moving, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't afford movers back then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm moving and buying boxes, and I was like, nah, bro. Me and Sharonda and Dion and Ron, Sharonda's brothers helping me out. I was like, nah, it don't make sense for you to drive an hour to come help me.
Right.
I'm like, it's your day off, bro. Just relax. And that was like 9 o'clock that morning. Never forget. I was like 9 in the morning when I was talking to him. And by 6 p.m., he was dead.
Isn't that something? Oh, my God.
And that whole day, I was like, oh, my God. That's why he wanted to come up here.
Right.
And my whole day, I was like, what if I would have just gave him the $20 to come up here? You know?
Just didn't know.
I could have saved his life. You know what I'm saying?
You could have saved his life. And that's why that Men's Matter is so important, because there are so many men, like you said, that do not know how to humble themselves. That's why I always say to the to the youth, it's important for your big mamas and your elders. Listen to them.
Yes.
And elders, it's important for us to give our time back to the youth. You know, what can you do? That's my challenge. What can you do today? Take it off of yourself. Mm-hmm. Take it off your problems. What could you do out here, our family and our friends? What can you do to make a difference in somebody's life? What can you do? That's the challenge. You know, what skill set do you have that you can offer to somebody else? And I'm not just talking money. I mean, if you got that, that's a great help, of course. But I'm talking about what can you do to offer help? And for me, it's always going to be my time and my coaching. You know what I mean? My time, like I was doing my vision board last night, and I was so excited about that. But when my sister called me, that was not, you know, do you have 5 minutes? Which was 2 hours. Do you have 5 minutes?
2 hours later.
But I was honored that she
thought enough of you.
Thought enough of me and trusted me enough to say, I need you to help me mediate something. And nothing I was doing was more important than that.
Yeah.
Because that was a building a relationship. So this is where we have to be in life. We have to be so sensitive.
You got to be sensitive to the spirit, and you have to trust your gut. You know? And sometimes it's so hard to, and checking on them. Yeah. And sometimes y'all, like, it's so hard. You have to be open to receive from the youth. Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Right. Oh, yes.
It'd be so hard sometimes to trust your gut, because sometimes what your gut is telling you about people that you love is not what you want to receive.
Oh, yes. Especially what that person just said, receiving from the youth. Sometimes when your children are trying to advise you, sometimes they might be 100% right. And your pride be like, what? You know, because you don't want to receive from the youth.
But I'm talking about, what if somebody that you love and respect, and you just get something you're feeling about them, or like one of your best friends, and you just picking up something in your spirit that's just off. And that happens so many times in relationships, right? But because we allow the love covers multitude of sin, we allow the love to be blinders. And it's like, no, they wouldn't hurt me. They wouldn't do that to me. And then when they do hurt you, or something happens, and it's like, I had that feeling about them.
I always say that I always feel that there is always this red flags. You know, there are always, when you look back at it, it's like, they said this, they did that. But because, like you said, you're in love, you just choose to ignore it, you know, push it to the back of your mind. And even like you said, in that Holy Spirit can also tell you, I need to call this person.
Yep.
There are times I'll just get in my gut, I need to call one of my kids. You know what I mean? I haven't spoken to them, you know. And sometimes when our children are so independent and so self-sufficient, we sometimes don't think they need us as much, but they do. And your friends are the same way. They need you. So it's so important to be available when life is lifing.
Yeah.
Because life is going to keep lifing.
That's right.
It's going to keep lifing. But it's what we do in this life and how we make a difference in this life when life is lifing. So I try, you know, I'm blessed that my kids are Johnny on the spot with me. I thank God, you know, I miss that one of my daughters lives so far, but I'm thankful that my kids are close to me, and that makes me feel good that I'm at hand's reach to my kids, and that and I know that my kids are very thankful that I'm always available for them too, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all, we really hope y'all enjoyed this topic tonight. Like I said, she chose the topic today because life been lifing for the both of us.
Has been lifing.
And listen, I was like, Lord have mercy, we gotta get on this live tonight and we gotta show up.
Right.
But so many things happened and transpired today alone.
Yes.
That was like making us feel like, man, I don't want to get on this thing tonight.
Right.
Not because we don't want to talk to you guys or show up. It was just like, you could just become so full.
Right.
Like,
with life.
Oh, man,
Another problem.
Another problem of the issue.
Some more money got to be spent.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay.
Remember,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good.
I was going to say more money got to be spent on something else to do on top of everything else you got to do.
Yeah. What I was going to say is remember that every setback is a formula for a setup.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just understand that. Understand that you are built for this.
Yes.
Right? You out there watching. You are in you.
Right.
You are built for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So remember, keep God first. Stay prayerful. You know, fast. Like I said today with the a Vampire in Brooklyn joke. You know?
If anybody know that movie, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. Vampire in Brooklyn.
You cracked me up with that one today. I needed that laugh. I needed it.
It's a part of the movie where Angela Bassett said, what is happening to me? You know
what
I'm saying?
What is happening to me?
So I was driving. I was like, what is happening to me? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Right. You know, but it's a beautiful thing. Like I shared in the men's group, on my post that I put out on social media, you know, we view everybody's scars as strength.
Right.
But we view our scars as a weakness.
Right.
You know, you hear about people's testimonies of what they're going through.
Right.
And it's like, man, they're so strong. They've been through this. They've been through that. They beat cancer. They beat this. They've been homeless.
Right.
They whatever, right? And we look at that person like, man, they're so strong. They conquered so much. And then we don't look at what we've been through.
Right.
And the scars and the storms and stuff that we had to endure.
And persevere.
Perseverance that we actually completed and did. And but we take so lightly to those things because it's us.
Right.
Because it's me. But if you did it, it's like, wow, tell me more.
Right.
So we have to be present with the things that we actually did, and
give ourselves credit.
And right, give yourself some grace, give yourself some credit, and just understand that you are God's chosen.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? You made it here. You're here for a reason. You have purpose. You have value. So understand that you have that, and don't let nobody else tell you otherwise.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And speak it into the universe. I got a joke before we end tonight. Somebody sent me this joke. It may not be funny to y'all, but I thought it was funny. It said, marriage is like Netflix. You start off excited, you binge every episode, and then somewhere around season 5, you're like, who picked this show? I thought it was funny. Like, you know, when you first start off, everything is so funny and fun, and then all of a sudden it's like, life happens. Life be lifing. And it's like, who picked this show? You know what I mean? I thought that was so funny. So, with that being said, don't give up.
Yeah.
Show up for everyone else, not just yourself.
That's right.
Be available to your family, your friends when they call. And take long walks in the park. Journal, like I said earlier today. Find ways to develop that inner peace.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Again, please like, share, comment. We do put our videos that's on here onto YouTube.
Yes.
Our YouTube is Walking Against the Current. We are looking for a videographer. So if you know a videographer that can help us edit our videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you know someone,
please send them our way. Don't look at the person's strength, look at who gave them strength. That's so true. I like that.
Yes.
So listen, y'all, until next time, remember, walk against the current, be different, be unique, be yourself, be blessed. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Goodbye.
I'm going to cut these off.
I'm going to try. Oh, my.
Love y'all.